Welcome to another Do Not Disturb dog walk. The beautiful Paritutu beach. We've been here once before and we travelled that way along the beach. And this time we're going to go that way because we didn't last time. Here's Quigley, the star of the show. If this is your first time watching, this is pretty much it. I just wear the camera and walk my dog and go to beautiful places. There's not much more to it really. My MO is to try and start the recording, go for half an hour to an hour, and then stop the recording and upload it. Every now and again I might do a little bit of fancy editing or something if time allows, but otherwise it's just a raw recording of me walking my dog and talking too much. I might talk too much, sorry folks. But on the topic of talking too much, the first rule on this channel has a slogan to go with it. The rule is never mind the 6 o'clock news. And I came up with this rule right at the beginning of our recording history to make sure I don't talk about dumb stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, anything that's on the 6 o'clock news, or might be on the 6 o'clock news, is dumb. Can't talk about that. So I made it a rule not to. So that you viewers, it's a quality assurance thing for you viewers, that you don't, I don't come onto this YouTube channel to talk about that dumb stuff. And that means you don't have to listen to it. So all we really talk about is narrating Quigley's life. I don't know why he's drinking that. Quigley, is it fresh water or what? I don't really want him drinking too much seawater. Anyway, narrate Quigley's life, narrate about where we are, how we're feeling, what we're doing, where we're going, etc. And that's pretty much it. So we're not a current affairs channel, we're an escape channel. For you to vicariously enjoy these dog walks and get away from all that kind of thing on YouTube. The other slogan that we have is never mind the poop. I mean, not never mind the poop, show us the poop. That's the slogan. Show us the poop is a reference to the fact that you get to enjoy everything about the dog walk, watching from my point of view, except for the pooping. When my dog poops, he gets his privacy. It's his own private business. It's not for broadcast. Hello. Sorry. Oh yeah, that's right. Same. Yeah. So show us the poop. It's like a reverse psychology slogan, where I kind of wish you all would be. I pretend that you guys are mad that you don't get to see the poop happening. He might wee. I do try to pan away from that when it occurs, but he wees so much that you'll see that from time to time. But as for the pooping, if I accidentally capture it on camera, I will edit that out if I have to. Someone's built a nice little bridge over here for us to get across, so that's good. Quigley probably doesn't care, but I don't want my shoes to get wet. Wait. Whoa. Whoa. Almost fell in. Come on, let's go. Hikoi. Yeah, so up until recently, I've been able to say that I haven't fallen over on camera yet. But just the other day, I did. I had a slip fall, landed on my booty. It wasn't as much of a falling over as I imagined. You know, every time I go slip, whoop, I feel compelled to tell you all that I haven't fallen over yet. But now the fallen over count is up to 1. If you count that first one, because I sort of fell on my butt and then bounced straight back up gracefully. I sort of imagine a falling over, a more serious falling over to be, painful, damn it, oh no, maybe an injury, my finger, it's broken, but you know what, it's neat to finally say that I have fallen over after 200 recordings, more than 200 recordings. It would have been, I don't think I would have fallen over on that little pile of wood bridge back there. I would have just ended up having to step into the water and getting wet shoes. Quigley's having a great time after being stuck in a freight truck with me all day. We're on the cross-country freight truck missions again today. I'm so grateful that I'm allowed to bring my dog with me to work, because it allows us to access places further afield than all about our home base in the south of the island. So we're on the west coast of New Zealand, in a place adjacent to a place called New Plymouth, also known as Ngā Motu in the indigenous language. Yeah, speaking of the indigenous language, I'm definitely a descendant of the Māori people who originally occupied these lands for hundreds of years before the rest of the world came and colonised this country. And I like to say that my dog is bilingual. You'll see that, or you'll hear that I talk to him in that language from time to time. Unfortunately, although Google AI is translating us into multiple languages, it doesn't understand when I speak that language. Maybe one day somebody will fix it, teach Google to understand Te Reo Māori, the language of the Māori people. But until such time, you'll just hear me say stuff and you won't get an accurate translation. In fact, Google will probably try and tell you that I'm saying stuff that I'm definitely not. I've had a go, actually. I don't watch back all of our content, but I've watched back a little bit of it. I found it quite interesting to watch back with the subtitles on, the auto-generated subtitles, and just to see how accurate or inaccurate it may be. Are you listening to me, Google? I'm complaining about you. I'm a bit annoyed with Google wanting us to use... actually, I probably shouldn't talk about this because it might be on the 6 o'clock news. But maybe you can forgive me for being annoyed with Google and the difference between the Google Assistant app and the Gemini Artificial Intelligent Assistant app, because for some reason it's just nowhere near as easy to use for Google Assistant type assistants. Like, I just want it to run the Google search and dial the number for me, right? So I'll say, hey Google, you better not be listening to me right now because I'm on Do Not Disturb and I'm recording. But anyway, hey Google, call such and such. And it doesn't want a bar of it. It doesn't want to do a Google search like Google Assistant did. Gemini wants to go through my phone contacts and suggest people in my phone contacts instead. And oftentimes it's pitching me completely unhelpful searches in my contacts. Yeah, I tell you what, Google Gemini, you just need to do everything that Google Assistant does and more if you want to be better than it. Tempted to switch back. Quigley waggles, Quigley, my jockey. Are you thirsty now, are you? You want some water? You want some water? Hold it, mate. Hold it, mate. I'll see if he'll take some water. I tried to give him some just before we left. He wasn't interested. Yeah. Oh, I might be out of water. Good boy, drink the water. Yeah, my water bladder backpack is running pretty light right now. No. Yeah. Yeah, I think might be at the end of it. Yeah, that's it. I made a mental note on the way here to buy a bottle and pour it into my water bladder backpack, and then I completely forgot. But at least I've got this little bit for Quigley. Is that enough? Do you want some more? Yeah. There's a little tiny bit left. Okay. Yep. Good boy. Oh. Oops. This way. Good boy. Anyway, the ethos of our channel, Do Not Disturb Dog Walks. First of all, it's a symbolic reference to me putting Do Not Disturb on the recording device, because it is a phone at the moment, and I don't want anyone being able to call and interrupt the recording. I don't want any notifications, sounds or vibrations interrupting the recording. So that's where it comes from initially. And then I think about Do Not Disturb as a philosophy, as a mantra, however you say that word, for how we undertake the dog walks. Basically, we don't go out of our way to go poking the camera in people's faces, but you know, I'm clearly wearing it, and we're out in public, so if people come trouncing on over, come and have a conversation with us, and then that happens, and that's okay as far as I'm concerned. I don't really find many people ever being offended by being recorded. Some people make mention that they'd rather not be, but that's about it. Anyway, the other ethos to Do Not Disturb is that we want these dog recordings to be an enjoyable, peaceful, free of controversy experience for all you viewers. And honestly, in real life, bad stuff hardly ever happens. It doesn't really ever happen. But if it does, well, that's something that I won't upload. You'll just have to take my word from it that hardly anything bad happens. We haven't ever really been in a dog fight. Although I think in the episode prior to this one, Quigley and another dog fired up at each other. I think the other dog offended Quigley for a change. It's usually the other way around. And we just responded quickly and separated those dogs. And most of the time, all of our interactions with other dogs are really good, happy, friendly, I want to play interactions. And if you're curious about those, most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, when we have a really cool, positive, friendly interaction with other members of the public and perhaps their dogs too, I like to edit those down. Just clip those from the big long dog walk recordings, clip them down into little episodes called Encounters, and I think we've made about 30 of those episodes so far, and there could have been more. I know there'll be some encounters hidden in the Do Not Disturb dog walk recordings that I just neglected to or forgot to cut into an Encounters episode. And so I guess if you're paying close enough attention out there, and you viewers, if you find an interaction that you think should have been in the Encounters playlist but didn't make it for some reason, just feel free to point it out, comment on that episode, let us know that the time code of the interaction you found, etc. And I mean, it's either that or maybe you can edit us the clip yourself and send it to us. That'll be good. If it's good, if you do a good edit, we might upload it as an Encounters episode and put your name on it as a credit. In fact, if you do an edit, put your own name on it as a credit, even if it's a code name, even if it's not your real name, just a anonymized credit. That'd be cool. It'll save me some effort. Hey, is that horse prints? Looks like it. Someone's been down here with a horsey on the beach. That's cool. I wonder if we'll meet them. It's pretty neat how the horse footprints are like two together. They've got 4 legs, right? It just means 2 of the legs, each side of their 2 pairs of legs are basically stepping into the same place. That's pretty cool. Now, it does look like there's a horse trail over here and a horse trail over here. I'm not an expert animal tracker or anything, but what direction are they going? The trail on the left is going that direction, the way we're going. And the other trail is going the same direction. So there may have been 2 horses. Yeah, there must have been. And I don't see any tracks going the other way. Oh, is there 3 horses? Alright, this is... Yep, there's a horse, and there's a horse. 3 trails. 3 horse trails. Maybe 4. Oh my goodness. I think it is 4. Oh, it's so hard to tell. Oh, I see. I think it's 2 horses and they went both ways. Because I'm noticing that some of the hoof prints, the horse was going the opposite direction. I think Quigley's really interested in the smells that the horses have left behind. He keeps sniffing at the trail, at the horse hoof trail. Yep, I know that I can see better than you all can see because it's a wide angle lens and my eyes aren't as wide angle as the lens. And I can tell you now that off in that distance over there, no matter how much you zoom this jiggly image, you're not going to find a horse. And I would assume as much because it's pretty clear to me that whatever horses were here went both ways. So I feel like I can assume they went that way, turned around at some point and then went back that way, back. But it could be the other way around. Maybe they started over there, came this way and then went back that way. But either way, I can tell you that there are no horses. No horses on the beach off in that distance. I'll tell you something about today, folks. I didn't know where we were going to walk. We got done with all of our assignments on the freight truck and then it's like, yay, it's walkies time, where do we go? And you know, sometimes I'll just throw a I'll throw a dart at the map, so to speak, a proverbial dart, because it's digital, right? And I just scan around Google Maps and look for interesting places. And I had a little bit of a look around and then I thought to myself, but I really feel like going to the beach. And then it was just too easy to decide to come back to this beach because it's an excellent beach. I feel certain we probably gave it a 5-star rating last time we visited. And that's for a reason. This beach is great. I like it. Plenty of the beaches near to New Plymouth are not dog friendly. No dogs allowed. So when it comes to I need to go to the beach and which beach should we go to, well, we just know full well that this beach is a good beach to bring a doggy. So that's why we're here. Right, so we're coming upon minute 25 of this recording, and I tell you what, we're going to turn around at the 30-minute mark and just go back to where we came. I'd consider doing a longer walk, and if you watch enough of our recordings you'll find that that's definitely true. Sometimes I'll walk for an hour and record it, and then me and Quigley have to walk a whole nother hour after finishing the recording just to get back to where we started. But I'm not doing that today, even though we have oodles of spare time. The fact of the matter is we're out of drinking water, so I can't bring myself to do that, just because we need that water to sustain us for such long periods. So that's unfortunate that I forgot to grab the water, and I'm essentially wearing the water bladder backpack for nothing because it's empty. We've only run out of water like once or twice before now, due to my lack of planning. I was wondering if the horses had turned around here. Kind of looked like they might have, but they clearly trounced through here. Apart from the people right at the entrance to the beach when we started, we haven't seen anybody. Not a single another soul, which is quite cool. Somebody dug a hole here, probably a dog. Lots of doggy footprints nearby. Alright, are we at minute 30 yet? Not really. Close enough. Close enough for me to consider that I'd like to just have a sit down and a rest before we continue the recording. So I like to call it time travelling when we pause the recording, just to give us some minutes to ourselves. I need a 30-minute ad break. And so that while we're being boring and sitting still and doing not much for a bit of a rest break, you don't have to put up with watching that. So yeah, time travelling because I control the phone with my watch. We've walked 2 kilometres so far. Anyway, we'll be right back with you, because as soon as I push this button, we're right back with you. And we're facing to the north. It's the direction that we are travelling now. I've noticed that there are some humans approaching, one on a bicycle, one on foot. There's also a dog, another doggo. So I get a hold of Quigley's line in case he decides he wants to sprint over there and make a new friend. Person on the bicycle has done a U-turn and headed back the way they came. The lady with the doggy looks like she's got her dog under control. Doesn't look like she's got it leashed, but he's being very obedient. Well, he may be leashed, yes he is. And he looks like he needs to be leashed. He's looking at us. He wants to come and say hello. We get a friendly wave. And do not disturb dog walk. Because we're not going to make friends with that doggy, sorry, Quigley. That's alright, Quigley. There'll be other friends to make many more friends. So the date of this recording is the 26th of March. So for me right now, recognising that yesterday, the 25th, is the 1 year anniversary of our first Do Not Disturb dog walk. And at the outset, I really thought I was going to achieve the remarkable feat of recording a dog walk every day. And then I found out that that's practically impossible. So shortly after I realised that the impossibility of that goal, I decided to call them almost everyday dog walks, and we managed at least 200 recordings for the year. So if you think about it, that's every second day, almost, more than every second day. I do have the goal of everyday dog walks one day. That'd be great. I've decided that I can't promise that to the world until such time as maybe, if we're lucky, with our YouTube broadcast reaching maybe millions of people one day in the long run. Maybe we'll attract funding from kind people like yourself so that we can quit our day jobs and just go for dog walks and adventures on the YouTube channel and make enough money from that to not need to do anything else. That's pretty much my dream, and that's why I consider it a crowd-funded broadcast, knowing full well for that the first year or two probably no one will give us any money, but if we just keep plodding along, and I see the successes happening, the more we contribute, the more people watch, and so that's good. So we just keep going. And after 1 year, I'm proud to be able to say we got 200 recordings uploaded to show you full well that we mean business. But honestly, the main reason I chose to do dog walking recordings is because I was already walking my dog every day anyway. For me, it's a no-brainer. And the thing that really sold me on it was wearing the camera. For years I thought I wanted to start a YouTube channel and I wanted to be the star of the show. I guess I kind of am, as the narrator of this YouTube channel. But I'm not pointing the camera at me. That was the huge brainwave for me. Not having to worry about whether my mustache is growing too long or whether there's a booger hanging out of my nose, because the camera's not pointed at me. Quigley's the star of the show, and I know a lot of you all love my dog, and everywhere we go we meet people who are always saying, "Oh my God, your dog is you've got such a beautiful dog." It's good. I just realised I have to film a monthly mystery location for April, so that's ready to go live early in the month, next month. Might record that one tomorrow. Try to remind myself. I almost feel like saying, "Remind me, will you?" But you won't see this in time. what I do with the uploads is I book them for broadcast in the future rather than straight away, just to give it time to cook, to marinate in the YouTube algorithm before it goes to broadcast. Give the YouTube algorithm plenty of time to analyze the contents. Before showing it to everyone. Also, it's helpful to be, for security reasons, to not be telling people exactly where we are straight away. So that's the MO going forward. Plus, there's also the Lost Episodes playlist, which actually went live yesterday with the first item of the playlist. Episode 1 of the Do Not Disturb Dog Walks went live yesterday. I banked the first 3 episodes, I think, 1, 2 and 3, for broadcast 1 year after the fact, like a memory. And why not? Because no one was watching the channel back then, so it sort of makes sense. And then along the way during the year, I have also disappeared a few other episodes into the Lost Episodes playlist for broadcast 1 year later, just for reasons, just because I felt like it and because I want to populate that playlist with 1 year ago we did this dog walk type memories. So I guess today, being the 26th, episode 2 will play, and the 27th, episode 3 will play. And anyway, yeah, so I guess that means if you really want to watch those after watching this, you can watch all 3 of those, because by the time this recording goes live, those 3 will be up in the Lost Episodes playlist. For those people who right now are subscribers and might watch this episode as it goes to broadcast, I know that plenty of you you won't find this episode for years from now, and that's just fine. Check out the Lost Episodes playlist and see how many of the oldest stashed away episodes are in there for you to see. Some of you might notice that there's a playlist called Mini Documentaries. I'm starting to feel a bit bad that we haven't really contributed many of our higher quality, higher production value 10 to 20 minute long documentary episodes. Not quite sure why. I think I need to turn my brain on to, I need to make another documentary mode and actually produce something. A lot of the other documentaries just happened. Like I had some inspired creative thinking and I just created them and then thought, cool, this can go on the channel. Things like that come naturally. I've got my own little documentarian flavour, which I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but it's just a good way to memorialise some of the events in our life. Like I remember one of them, I think it was the first one actually, was about celebrating putting our house bus back on the road after quite an extended period of time off the road, because it's been quite a battle keeping our house bus on the road. And if we were a bus life channel, we could make all sorts of documentary type blathering tales about the bus life. But we haven't really. But yeah, the first documentary was just me celebrating. Me and Quigley got to take the bus for its first cruise, fresh out of the workshop, after tens of thousands of dollars worth of repair work on it. And that was like the first time we were in the workshop, and there's been other times since then. And there will be more in the future. But anyway, I don't really document the challenges of bus life on this YouTube channel. You just get glimpses of it, where possible. When sometimes the way that Quigley and I get around, we are driving around it with the bus. So then there's other episodes where we're driving around in the car, and then there's episodes like now where Quigley comes for a ride with me when I'm at work, cross country, truck driving. You know, because when I'm doing local truck driving, I've usually got somebody from work in the passenger seat, and I don't get to bring Quigley to work. But when it's just me doing the cross country missions that I have signed up to do for my company, old Quigley gets to come along, and we get to make time for these dog walks in amazing places. I was going to say, you get to see the bus sometimes when we're roaming in the house bus, travelling the country, etc. And sometimes you get to see the car when me and Quigley decide to go for a roam with the car. And you don't get to see my work truck, because part of my privacy concerns is to make sure that I do my best to keep the company I work for not really necessarily a secret, but not broadcast on loud. So it's annoying too, because I'd love to point the camera at my truck and show that off, because it's a pretty cool truck, but I can't. It's like a billboard on wheels, that thing. So sorry folks that I can't show you that. Oh. There's also a playlist for bicycle riding, which it's only got a few things on it because we haven't really done much. But we have hopes and dreams and goals of doing some cycle riding. Quigley loves running beside the bicycle. I'm a bit of an idealist, and I don't like doing things unless I can do it the whole way, the right way, all the way good. And I dream of having more cameras and making some really cool multicam recordings when we go cycle riding. At the moment, I'm still working on the bicycle. Now, we have made one episode with my favourite bike, my pedal chopper, my full electric pedal chopper bicycle, and then it conked out quickly after that. The hub motor stopped working, so presently in the workshop. Depending on how far away in the future you are though, that might be all done and dusted with. And if you have a look at the bicycle riding playlist, you might find episodes. I know you might. I know you probably could, because I intend to make them at this point in time. So have a look for that. You might want to check out my pretty cool bike. Hey, and if in the long run that bike totally breaks down and it might be more economically viable for me to replace it, I'll get another bike if we have to. But that bike has style just like everything else we do. So we've got the 1970 old house bus, classic bus, and the 2008 OG electric bike. I know that's not really classic, but it's pretty cool. And it's still going after all these years. And we do have another vehicle that's at the moment it's my project vehicle, currently powered by a 350 Chevrolet small block, which, you know, I dream of pulling that motor out and turning it into a coffee table, I promise you that, because I would really like to convert that vehicle to electric. Same with the house bus, although I don't know how feasible that is considering how much it weighs, how much it will weigh, how much of a pain it will be to I almost said pain in the ass. Oh look, I did just say that. Yeah, it could be a real pain to power it, you know, to recharge the batteries. You could cover the whole roof with solar panels and it'll still take many, many days to charge up any kind of battery array that is heavy enough to lug that giant house bus around. So we might stick with the ICE motor for that one, but the other one, same story. I think it's about a 3-ton vehicle. Anyway, it's a 1983 CF Bedford, and it needs a lot of work. But you know, a man can dream. It will be good if we can get that, even if we just spruce up the SBC that's in it and drive that around. It will be really good for me and Quigley to get around on the Chevy, because it, you know, it's such a cool vehicle. I sort of came this way so that I could avoid the people, the kids there. But yeah, I can walk on the rocks. Yep. I might have a friendly doggy encounter here. Good way to finish up the episode, since we're going to stop the recording soon. He's away. He's gone. Bye. I assume it's fresh water because Quigley's drinking it, and I know he doesn't like drinking seawater. Oh, here comes a little fat white dog, little fat dog. Quigley hasn't noticed him yet, as far as I can tell. Him or her? I think it's a her. That's a little fat female, little short-legged dog. Can't buy. Cute. Well, that's going to be about it. I feel like I just blathered on about the YouTube channel that whole walk. Sorry about that. I'm always thinking about it. There's another doggy in the car there. Can't play. This way. Hello. Oh, we're not. Oh. Yeah, we did come from that way. Let's go that way. Good. I thought we were going up the road, but no, that's right. We came this way. Oh. Back to where we started. Kapai. If you're in New Zealand or you come to New Zealand, I highly recommend coming and see this beach. It's just a beautiful beach, isn't it? Good. Hello. Come on, Quicks. Let's say goodbye to everyone. I'm going to turn the recording off now. Yeah, so as always, I'd like to end by saying thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Kia ora.